In this demonstration we're going to look at configuring public folder and public folder databases. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the management console to create a public folder. We'll then use the management console to add permissions to the folder. We'll then have a look at using Office Outlook to actually view the public folder permissions. So first things first, we're in our management console. So what we need to do here is just add some public folders. To do that we come into Toolbox. Then within Toolbox, next thing we do is we just come into our public folder management console. So, into our public folder management console. So now we're in here. Next thing we're going to do here is just create a new public folder. So I'll come into default public folders because these are the ones where we actually put the content. As you can see, what we already have in place here is we actually have one for the research department. So what we'll do is we'll just create a new public folder, and we'll create that new public folder for our sales department. So on the button to create a new public folder, and what we'll do is we'll just call this one sales. Now that we've done that, we click the new button. Goes away, creates the folder. Click our finish button. And as we can see here, we now have our sales public folder. So the next thing we're going to do here is we're just going to use the public folder management console to add permissions to the public folder. And what we want to do here is we want to add a user called Don. So right click on the folder, go to properties, now in the properties, click on permissions and click our add button. And the user we're going to use here is we're just going to use Don, so down to Don. Click OK. And what we'll do with Don is we will give him the ability to edit all, I think. Now that we've done that, we'll click OK. And we've now configured the permissions for Don. Next thing we'll do here is we'll just go into our Windows 7 client and we'll launch up Outlook, and we'll just have a look at the public folders within there and just verify that the permissions have gone through correctly. What we'll also do is we'll create another public folder for our IT department. Okay, here we go. We'll just log in. Just log in as administrator. Right, next thing to do, just launch up Microsoft Outlook. Right, we're now in as administrator, so next thing we're going to do here is we're just going to click on the folder list icon and launch up our public folders. Right, so here we go, we've got our public folders, so we'll just click on the public folders. Expand this up a little bit, just come to our all public folders, scroll this down, we can see the sales, we can see the research. So we'll have a look at the sales department, so we'll right click, have a look at the properties, and if we have a look at the permissions tab, we can see Don is indeed here, and Don does actually have his edit all permission. So the next thing I'm going to do here is just create a public folder actually through the Outlook 2010. So we'll come to all public folders, we'll just right click, we'll create a new folder. Now what we can see here is if we create the folder through Outlook, we get additional options here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a calendar items. We're going to call this one Sales Shared Calendar. And just click OK there. What we'll also do is we'll create one for the IT department for IT tasks. So new folder. Click on the little drop down. We'll go for task items this time, but this time we'll call this IT tasks. Click the OK button, and we've now created a couple of public folders, not only through Outlook, but we also done it as well through the Exchange Management Console. And that's the end of this very quick demonstration.